Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for AI16 price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. We're gonna start with the daily chart here for the AI16Z, and we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave A or wave 1 finished, meaning the direction of this chart is toward the upside, despite of course the deep correction that we got here, A, B, and a C, finishing here a wave B or a wave 2. Therefore, we are of course in a wave 1, 2, and we're looking for a wave 3, 4, and a 5. In case we are impulsive in the round yellow scenario here, unless of course we are corrective in a zigzag A, B, and a C for the blue round scenario. The wave C has to be as well 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, hitting at least at the 1-to-1 fib level 2.65 for AI16, taking the all-time high at least, and then of course finishing the three waves and looking for a new pattern or structure. It can be of course 3 waves down, it can be an impulse, or it can be something else like a triangle or complex structure. However, currently we are still looking for this impulse toward the upside, whether we are in an A, B, C, or if we are in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 towards the upside. Currently, after this correction, we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 1, a perfectly finished, of course, impulse, which it can be as well a wave A. And in this case scenario, you are looking after it for something very corrective, I would say. And this, if we move inside it, we can see on the daily so far, before moving on the 2-hour chart, we can see that we have finished here kind of like a wave A, where you have an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, and a C zigzag. For a wave A, you got a correction with a wave B, and after it was followed with kind of like a 3 waves toward the downside. And that makes it, of course, a W, X, and a Y in this case here, where we are looking at 3 waves down, A, B, C, and then correction, and then ABC again, of course, finishing the structure so far with 3 waves. Unless, of course, we're still looking for something bigger than this small correction. However, if this happens, don't forget we are very close to the 886 here. Taken, of course, not taken, sorry, yet. It has took so far the 0.786, but if this 886 will be taken, therefore, the possibility starts to reduce slowly for a wave 3 toward the upside, but it still can be, of course, a wave C. In this case scenario, I would like to see continuation simply for higher prices. Now, if we move inside it to see what do we have on the 2 hours chart here, now we can see somehow like we have like kind of like a 1, 2, another 1, 2, wave 3, 4, and a 5. But you see that, of course, something is missing as a wave 4 and a 5 on the 2 hours chart here, which kind of like reducing a little bit the possibility that this might be a wave 1. Plus, you took, of course, the 886 so far, taken from this area here, taken from the 0 to the top. And we can see, of course, here in case that if you are in an impulse toward the upside, the 886 has been taken. So if we took the 886, therefore there are 2 possibilities in this scenario. Whether we are in a diagonal wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 toward the upside 4 and a 5 to start, of course, a wave 1 here as a leading diagonal, and therefore moving for a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 toward the upside. This is the first scenario, of course. As a bullish scenario it can be, and this of course can explain why we are looking potentially here at something like a zigzag and not a finished impulse, because you have double 1, 2s. So basically it can be, of course, a wave 1 a zigzag starting here, where you have A, B, and a C. You have a correction taking the 886, which it can be, of course, a target and a common target, honestly, for a wave 2 in diagonal. And therefore, right now, we are looking at something impulsive, right? So we see something impulsive. We see a 1, 2 here, wave 3 as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 and a 5. But we didn't took the high yet. Now we see correction and a move again toward the upside, which it might be, of course, another wave C unfolding here for wave 3. If we would like to see, of course, is this even closer on the 4-hour chart, or on the micro, I would say. Let's move to the micro level on the 15-minute chart. So with the micros here, well, internally, if you want to count this as an impulse, the only way to count it as an impulse is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 expanding a diagonal, which is very rare case scenario, of course. And this, normally have to be considered 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, as you can see, there is a missing wave 4 and a 5 here. And as the count shows here with the micro, we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which it can be expanding diagonal, taking again, of course, this low. Unless, again, we are in a potential zigzag here toward the upside, that can be a wave 1. This scenario can be somehow like you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as a diagonal for a wave A, as you can see here in the blue scenario, and then you have a wave B, and then an impulse toward the upside for a wave C. So basically, I would say, yeah, it can be possible that you might have already here something like a diagonal. And also, by the way, if this is a diagonal here as well, can be as well a 1, a 2, and then 3, 4, 5. But the problem again is inside this wave here. As you can see, if you have a wave 3, you cannot count this as a wave 3 like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is shorter than the wave 1, shorter than the wave 5, and that's why, of course, I did not count it as a full wave 3, and of course reduce so much the possibility for an impulse, unfortunately. But yeah, we're gonna see basically as a zigzag has higher potential, I would say wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 still unfolding because you would like to see the high taken. Currently on the 15-minute chart, we are looking at something impulsive, which it might be a wave 1, looking for a wave 2, and continuation simply towards the upside impulsively, and that because we might be as well here in an A, B, and a C. So we're gonna mark this as well as a potential A, B, and a C towards the upside. To continue, of course, as well a potential diagonal, which it can be a leading diagonal for a wave 1 over there unfolding. Yep, so basically those are the possibilities in the bullish scenario. Now, if we are bearish and we're still looking to take the low, it can be, of course, a possibility, guys. So we are never here in one direction all the time, but the possibilities are shifting, of course, for the bullish. But don't forget, in case that we see something like probably triangle, and that might means, of course, like A, B, C, D, and an E, the wave E finishing toward the upside, you might continue the trend for lower. And that brings us back to the daily here, that yeah, it might be like unfinished yet big correction for AI16 here, which might still, of course, looking for lower as an ABC. So I would say even that if you are here impulsive like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's a little bit hard for the wave 5. But let's say if it is potentially diagonal, but also the wave 5 also longer than wave 3, reducing the possibility, and that's why higher possibility is for the bullish. But however, if in case we are bearish here and you are in a formation in a wave 1, 2, well, you would like to see even higher prices for a wave 2, 3, 4, 5 toward the downside, because you would like to see A, B, and a C. Definitely the wave C has to be 5 ways. So wave 2 still, of course, missing over there. Yep, so higher potential for AI as a conclusion, still looking for higher. We're looking for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to be finished soon. Probably can be finished as WX and a Y or as an ABC internally. You can kind of like count an impulse finish there and starting a formation for a wave 1, probably as a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, we're gonna see how this is going to unfold. That was it for AI16Z. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.